welcome to episode 3 of Unfiltered Thoughts. I know I've taken a few days off, and that's just because I have been busy with life. I took a little vacation with my siblings this past Saturday. We went to King's Dominion, which was fun. And so we're going to jump right into that and just go straight into talking about King's Dominion and how that went, because I have quite a few funny stories to tell you. So I went Saturday to King's Dominion with my brother and my sister. We got Fast Pass. If you have never gotten Fast Pass before, I highly recommend. It had my brother absolutely geeking out. He was so excited being able to quickly get through the lines. So starting off with my first story is we went to go get on the Delirium. And as we were waiting in line, we get up there and there's these two gentlemen in front of us. Well, one of them looks at my brother and goes, "Where are you from?" I was like, "Me?" And he was like, "Yeah, where are you from?" So my brother says where he's from. And he goes, "Oh, it's just the way you talk." Let me preface. My brother has a disability called cerebral palsy. So it affects his speech, his legs, affects his mind a little bit, whatever. He's not bad. He's a great human being. But anyways, just wanted to add that for this next part. Well, after that dude asks, where he's from, and he says, "Oh, it's just the way you talk," without missing a beat, my brother goes, "Oh, I have a speech impediment." I was in shock. I was literally in shock. The dude is like, "Oh, I'm sorry. And I just put my head down. I'm like, oh my gosh. No way did he just say that. He's like, "Yeah." My brother's like, "Yeah, I'm a little messed up in my head." I look over at my sister and I'm like, "Caleb." And the dude's like, "Well, you're not normal if you're not a little messed up in the head." I was like, "You got a fair point. Everybody's a little special." He was like, "Yeah." Then he basically said that you could really honestly tell off of our accents that, we had a little bit of Southern twang to us. But that was literally hilarious to me. I mean, you know how comedians, whenever they respond to something, they are so quick with their response, and it's absolutely hilarious. That's exactly how my brother was in that moment. I mean, without missing a beat, he goes, "Oh, I have a speech impediment." Caleb, okay. And then he looks at me and my sister and is like, "I like telling people that because it really throws them off guard." I'm like, "Yeah, it threw me off guard. And you think I should have expected that one, but I did not." I cannot with my brother. I really can't. He is a hilarious human being. But anyways, another funny story is we were walking through the park, and we were just, walking along. We were taking our time, just strolling, going to our next coaster. And there's this little boy playing on this little wall. You know how like tree beds or like plant beds have like that little like cement wall up around it? It was one of those. And the boy's just hopping, skipping, playing on it, whatever. Well, the second that me and my brother kind of glance over and look, that boy falls. Okay. That definitely, that gave us a good laugh. I mean, like my brother immediately started laughing. I'm like, "Shh, stop. I'm like, stop laughing." Because it's like, I'm pretty sure the little boy feels very embarrassed right now. But I can't lie. I took a good laugh too, because Humpty Dumpty took a fall off the wall. He did. And it was hilarious, to say the least. I hope that boy's okay. But I mean, he definitely took a fall. I mean, he went to jump, and whenever he did, man, his legs did a split on that wall, and dunk, he fell. Oh, man. The average nice human being would have been like, "Oh gosh, are you okay?" No, we just kind of continued walking and laughing. Sorry, little kid. Anyways. Other than that, we had lots of fun. If you do not know already, if you've ever been to King's Dominion, you know the park is a fairly decent size. It is quite big. So therefore, it's not really necessarily easy to find your way around the park to the different coasters without using some type of map, unless you've been there a lot and you really know it. Well, for me, I've been there a few times, but I don't know this park like the back of my hand. So usually I use the app on my phone to try and navigate where to go next. Well, it was about a little over midday through the day, and my sister was starting to feel a little woozy. Well, she wasn't feeling the best, getting really hot and whatnot. I was like, "It's okay. I know a place that we can go that'll cool us all off." So I'm like, "Just follow me." I didn't use no map. I didn't use the app. Nothing. I just let them follow me to a Sweet Frog. And I was plotting on that too, because at the beginning of the day, whenever we first passed it, I looked at them and I said, "We will be coming to Sweet Frog at some point today." And we made it. And whenever we got inside, Natalie was like, "I could have guessed you would have came here." I was like, "I know, right?" I said, "But what's funny is the fact that I memorized how to get all the way over here from where we were without needing any help." I mean, like, I didn't double take or nothing. I mean, I didn't like stop and be like, "Oh, which way should I turn?" Nope. I just went. I just kept going. Made sure they were following behind me, and we made it. Made it with ease. no problem. And Caleb also laughed at that. He was like, yeah, you really memorized how to get to the Sweet Frog? And I was like, yeah, I guess I really did. Let me tell you what, that Sweet Frog was good. It was very expensive, but good. And just in general, amusement park food is so expensive. I mean, I spent almost $100 just solely in food, and we didn't even eat that much. We first stopped at a pizza place in the park, and just for the pizza, I got a cannoli dessert, and then I got me a drink, and I got my brother a drink. It was $31. I mean, like a whole meal. It was just one slice of pizza and 2 breadsticks. Whenever I say pizza, I mean, it was literally just one slice of pizza, 2 breadsticks. And then I spent like 22, somewhere between like 22, 25, maybe more than that at Sweet Frog, because I bought me and my sister Sweet Frog. And then we ended off the day going and getting some Dippin' Dots. That also doesn't count the fact that we got Burger King before we even went to the park or got into the park. So the amount of money I spent just in food was outrageous. But I'm not complaining. The food was good and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I ate a lot on Saturday. Another funny thing that happened, and it had my sister cracking up and it had me cracking up too, is if you've ever been on the Twisted Timbers at the park, it does a lot of up and down movement, like a lot of it. And I mean, like it's very fast. It was a lot of up and downs. Well, I had my hair in French braids. And so every time we went up and down, my hair was just like, wee, just going up and down with every time we went up and down on the coaster. And my sister, she just had her hair tied back, and hers was doing the same thing. And whenever the coaster came to a stop, I mean, she was laughing. She was laughing so hard. It was so funny. And even I was laughing. And also, whenever the first time we rode, I was singing a song with my brother the whole way up. The whole time we were going up, I was singing. And then the next thing you know, we dropped. And I was like, I love coasters. Let me tell you what, I love roller coasters. If you have ever been to an amusement park, whatever it may be, comment down below what is your favorite amusement park and the favorite ride from that amusement park. For me, I have been to King's Dominion, Busch Gardens, Water Country, and Six Flags in Georgia. I think it's in Georgia. I think so, yeah. From King's Dominion, my favorite ride is the Intimidator. Rest in peace, the Intimidator, because they are taking it away and replacing it with the Pantherian. If you haven't heard it yet, you've heard it now, folks. I'm very sad. But besides that, since they are taking it down, technically my favorite ride would be the Flight of Fear. I love the Flight of Fear. At Busch Gardens, my favorite ride is the Griffin. I love the way it pauses before you finally drop. At Six Flags, my favorite ride was the Superman ride. And then at Water Country, my favorite ride is the drop, where you're in the tube and they count you down and then whoosh, and you drop. I love that one. I love amusement parks just in general. So tell me down below, what is your favorite amusement park and your favorite ride from that specific amusement park? The next thing I want to get into is your little bit of advice for the day. Because as you know, I like to have just a little bit of advice, a little bit of some serious talk mixed in with the episode. So for today, I'm going to be taking what happened on Saturday as my little go for it. While we were walking to a coaster, there were a lot of schools there, and this group of school students were walking past us. We were walking past them. I mean, we didn't speak, nothing like that. We were just walking. Well, then all of a sudden, I hear one of the girls from the group go, hey, excuse me. So usually whenever you hear that, you turn around, not knowing if somebody's talking to you. So I turned around and I looked back. And she's like, yeah, you. She was like, I just want to say, I love your hair. It's so pretty. And I was like, thank you so much. And you were so gorgeous. I mean, I was quick to compliment her back because she was really pretty. And like compliments like that, it makes me so happy. I love compliments and I love giving them too. So if you haven't today, whether it would be someone you know, a friend, a family member, or even just someone random, go up to them, text them, whatever you may need to do, and tell them, hey, you look good today. Or even just tell them, hey, I'm proud of you. Just any little type of compliment that will just make their day that much better. Because trust me, you don't know what type of day anybody's having, whether it's a good one, it's a bad one, and any small kind gesture, even just like a compliment, can make their day that just that much brighter. So go ahead, give someone a compliment today. Tell them they look good. Tell them you're proud of them. Tell them that they are rocking that outfit they're wearing, whatever it may be. Because I love giving compliments. I really do. And another example I have of that is me giving a compliment first is I go to the gym. And, well, there was this new girl who came in, and she is gorgeous. I mean, she has absolutely body goals. You can tell she's been working out for a long time. So as I went to go get some dumbbells, which she was near, I tapped her on her shoulder and I was like, hey, I just want to tell you, you look really good. And she's like, oh, she's like, thank you so much. That means a lot. She's like, I saw you from across the gym and you were just so pretty. And I was like, oh, I was like, thank you. So just any type of small interaction like that can mean the world to somebody. So always remember that. And go compliment somebody today if you haven't already. It doesn't hurt. Next thing that I wanted to get into, I know we're kind of moving a little bit fast in today's episode. I'm just going to try and talk. I'm making up for time lost because I haven't posted in a few days. The next thing I wanted to get into, which is probably one of my favorite topics that I really love to talk about and I can literally talk for hours about, is paranormal. Ghosts, spirits, whatever it is. I do believe in the paranormal. Not in a sense of they're everywhere. You can be walking in the grocery store and a ghost is going to throw a box of cereal at you. But I do believe there is a such thing as spirits, and I do believe that they make themselves known, whether it would be just loved ones making themselves known or even just a random spirit just being like, hey, goodbye, or even the mean ones that will scare you half to death. And for me, I have a couple stories like that. The first one is from whenever I was very young, like a small child. This house that we lived in, already, I honestly, looking back, I wouldn't be surprised if it was haunted. But this story in particular has haunted me for years. Anytime someone's like, have you ever had a paranormal experience? I'm like, yep, right here on the table, I got you. Well, let me describe our room situation. I shared a room with my sister. Well, we had our room, a middle room, and then that would go out into the hallway. So to get into our room, you had to open the door. There was this middle room, and then you open another door, and that came into our bedroom. Well, the door closest to the hallway, I heard scratching on it one night while I was trying to go to sleep. Or while I was asleep. And I woke up, didn't really think much of it. Maybe thought it was maybe one of our dogs or something. Fell back asleep because I'm a young child. The first thing that's going to come to mind is not going to be, oh my God, there's a ghost at my door trying to get in. But that next morning, whenever I woke up and I looked at our door, there were claw marks at the top of the door. It'd be different if it was the bottom, because then I'd be like, yeah, that could be our dogs, But no, it was at the very top of the door. And it was in a 3, as if it was something that had just 3 claws, and it went on one side and on the other side. Didn't really try to think too much of it whenever I was younger, because once again, I was a child. But looking back at that absolutely baffles me every single time. Every single time I think about it, I'm like, yeah, no, there was definitely something, which that house gives eerie vibes anyways. I've gone into it back when I was a freshman in high school. I went into it, and let me preface, I haven't lived in this house since I was maybe 6 years old. So it's been years since I've lived in this house. And I went back into it in my freshman year. And even just going into it, it just has an eerie vibe to it. Just even the outside has an eerie vibe to it. So I wouldn't be surprised if the house is haunted. Another story I have is also on the spectrum of hearing things. There was one time, it was a few years ago, I was taking a nap on the couch. Nobody was home. It was just me and the doggies. And I ended up falling asleep on the couch. Prefacing, no TVs were on, no electronics were on, my phone was off. Well, anyways, I'm asleep, and all of a sudden, I get jolted awake by someone going, hello. Exactly like that. Hello. Like someone was yelling to get my attention. So that jumped me awake. And I'm heavy breathing, heart pounding, and I kind of pause for a second. I'm trying to listen to my surroundings, as somebody came to the house without me knowing. But then I'm looking, and the dogs are peacefully laying down. And if you have dogs, at any slight noise, anybody coming in the house, they will bark and they will go crazy, even if they are the calmest dogs on earth. If somebody comes into the house, they're going to bark. So I'm sitting there, at first, first thing to my head is, oh my God, somebody's in my house. But then I was kind of looking at the dogs, and I'm okay, no, they're all laying down. They're all laying down and nobody's in the house. Then what was that? What yelled at me? Hello. What was trying to get my attention? I don't know. That was probably a more recent experience, because I really haven't had nothing crazy happen that I can think of to my knowledge in a really long time. But I do believe that there is such thing as paranormal. If you have any ghost stories, any seeing shadow figures, I have seen what looks like shadows before, going through a doorway or something like that. I try not to think too much into it, but I have seen something like that before. Something funny, actually, is I tried to record this episode before, but whenever I went back to edit it, for some reason it glitched out and there were 2 of me talking. It was really weird. But whenever I started talking about these ghost stories, my door shut. Like it straight up, it shut. And it scared me half to death. I hate that I lost that recording because like you could see it in my face. My door went through and I was like scared me. Absolutely scared me. But anyways, if you have any scary stories, whether it's hearing noises, hearing someone talking even though there was no one's there, seeing things, whatever it may be, let me know about down below because I would love to talk about that because I love the paranormal. And if you love watching scary videos like that, ghost hunting, whatever, highly recommend watching the YouTubers Sam and Colby because their ghost hunting videos are literally top tier. I love watching them. I'm so into them. They're like an hour long. It's like the perfect like movie without being a movie, you know? But anyways, that'll conclude today's episode. I cannot wait to see y'all into the next one. And I hope y'all have had a great weekend. I hope y'all have had a great day and even better one tomorrow. With much love and care. Bye, loves.